Hi, hello, my name is Aramide Shittu. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and I was partly raised over there and then partly raised over here because I moved here at 15. So my teenage years were pretty much here in the US. I am a mental health advocate. I'm a master's level psychologist, so I do practice psychology, diagnosing mental health illness, and also providing treatment. So for me, my mental health story is, other than the training aspect, is also a personal experience with mental illness. So I've been dealing with depression since my early adulthood. So around college age was when I realized, or I didn't realize it then, in retrospect, was when I realized that, oh, I was going through depression even back then. And what led to that? Earlier this year, I had a major depressive episode, and that really got me down and almost caught me by surprise. And that's when I realized that, okay, all these things I've been dealing with when I was younger are all symptoms of depression, or they're all symptoms of a depressive state. But I never understood what was going on, even with my training. So it's possible, even with my training, I didn't understand. But with my recent breakdown, it was really a rough patch. Thankfully, I did notice that this is what was going on with my symptoms, and it was hard to talk to people about it. It was hard to talk to anybody about it. And I really kept it to myself, and it was an internal struggle. And it started affecting me physically in the sense that people were seeing that something was going on. People saw that I looked tired, I looked stressed. And as a cover-up, I would just tell people, oh, I'm fine, I'm just tired. Oh, I'm fine, I'm just tired. I'm tired, I'm fine, I'm tired became my cover story, because those are believable things. We all live busy lives, so it is believable for you to be tired and just be stressed. So that's what I did, and that's what I told people, because there's still a shame and stigma with mental illness. And also I felt like no one would understand around me. There was no way I could explain it to people for them to understand. But the thing that pushed me, or the major point that pushed me to getting help, to speaking to somebody, was when I still don't know what to call it. It's almost like a hallucination. But it was a Saturday, and I had just gotten back from the beach with a couple of my friends. And I was just crying all night, and I was crying, and then I would call it a hallucination to a degree. I saw that my wrist was slit and I was bleeding profusely, and that made me even cry more. And I was like, okay, I need to talk to somebody. If it has gone to, I need to talk to somebody. So immediately while still crying, I sent a message to my friend who is a medical doctor, and I told him, I need to talk to you tomorrow. If you ask me and I tell you that there's nothing wrong and I'm fine, don't believe that. Don't still push me to talk. So I was able to talk to him, and we started a mini therapy session, and thankfully talking to him has helped a little bit. But I'm still dealing with it. I'm still struggling with it. I'm in the process of getting an actual therapist. And I wasn't able to do that because I was away from the country for a month. And even then, even with the traveling in the middle of a depressive episode, I wanted to cancel the trip. I didn't want to go. I just was not interested. But again, stigma, I couldn't tell my parents. I was like, they already spent all this money on ticket. No, you're coming. I went to Nigeria. So I was like, yeah, no. So I just sucked it up and I went on the trip. So again, that's another part of struggling with telling people and letting people know. And the good thing about sharing my story, which I'm still dealing with, is the shame that comes with sharing our story of mental illness. And I really don't know where the awkwardness is still coming from. I guess it's from a place of people not understanding what depression is like. It's almost like you're living the perfect life. What are you depressed about? There's nothing for you to be depressed about. Or just shake it off, you'll be fine. Or, just sleep, you're just tired, you're just stressed, just take a break and you'll be fine. It's like, no, sometimes you can do all those things and you're still depressed. You still feel like you're in the sunken place. That's my definition for depression. It's being in the sunken place, and the only way to get out of it is to get help. The only way to get out of it is to talk to somebody. The only way to get out of it is also to share your story, is to let people know that you are not alone. This can happen to anyone. I'm in this field. I'm a person who has the training, and I still went through it. So anybody can be affected with any sort of mental illness. So all of this is to say that mental health matters. We need to talk about it more because talking is the first step. That is where the healing starts from. If we're not able to open up to other people around us, if we're not able to seek help, if we do not end the stigma of mental illness, then we won't be able to progress as a society or as a group of people. So mental health matters. Talk more. And also you can follow my page, Scars Too Beautiful, on Twitter and Instagram. Again, is Scars, SCARZ, Too Beautiful, on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, thank you guys of TalkNaija for this opportunity, and I hope everybody is able to get the help that they deserve.